Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Above with Chris. So 27th of March, it's my youngest birthday today. He's just turned 10, so all our kids are now in double digits. We now have no kids in single digits. So yeah, I'm going to have a shave with some Manchester United Devils on the Field soap that was made for me by Lather Bros. Andre over at Lather Bros, awesome guy, and I believe it's his wife Stephanie, really nice people. And he made this soap up for me. It's actually got, well, you can see it's got the Man United logo on here, and it's also got here, exclusive for the channel. There is only one set of it. I don't think he ever was going to release it as a set. I don't even know whether you could, having got the Manchester United logo on there. I've got no idea, but I'm going to do a shave with it now. I haven't used it for a while. I have actually had comments about it that it hasn't surfaced much. And to be honest with you, it hasn't surfaced much because I chose to use this soap when Manchester United were playing. And because they were playing so dreadful for so long, it got to the point where it was almost depressing to use. So at the moment no one's playing because it's all cancelled due to the virus and the pandemic worldwide thing. But I'm going to pull it out today and I'm going to have a cracking shave with it. And I'm going to use my Leo Frio custom Manchester United brush. And it's got a 26mm, I think it's 26mm Magad 2-band finest. It's not the best knot in the world, but it creates a pretty good lather. I've never really struggled with it. I've never had a bad lather from it, I don't think. And it's been generally used for this soap. And I know that if you've tried Lather Bros, they make quality soaps. Easy to lather, easy to work with, vegetal based. As you can see on the front there, that is the ingredients list down the bottom. If you want to have a look at that. And there is the soap. Now this comes in a false bottom tub. You can see just sort of through it where the soap is. They have changed the tubs, the new tubs are better. I'm not a fan of this. It sort of deceives you as to how much soap you've got, even though it says you've got 4 ounces, you've got 4 ounces. It's in there. It just looks, it makes it feel like it's not. But they have changed the tubs. They are using slightly different tubs. I think they're just single walled now. I don't know whether it was down to cost or lucre, I'm not sure. Now, they make some of the best looking labels, logos and things like that around. Really nice. They'll use really bright, vivid colours on most of the stuff. And if it's got a gourmand type scent, they actually, rather than naming it something that's not very gourmand, they just go out and name it by how they've sort of scented it. And the pictures sort of follow suit. So I'm going to get a good load in here today. Spend some nice quality time lathering. My wife, she's actually off to work today. Well, not off work, she's at work. She's a nurse lecturer for TAFE, for college. So she actually teaches enrolled nurses. But she's a qualified registered nurse and has been for 20 years now. And we're just waiting now for the call. Look at that. It's like meringue. That's just a load. We're just waiting for the call now of the cancelling college, shutting it down, and all hands on deck. Every single nurse that is registered will be required to work in hospitals. So we're prepared for, well, my wife's prepared for it. I'm not prepared for it because I could never be prepared for it. I could never be a nurse. Having spent a long time in the police and seen what nurses have to deal with, I'd be a copper any day of the week. And funny thing is, they think the opposite. So it's yeah, I don't think it'll be too long before she's called out into the front lines in hospitals to help out with this coronavirus that's getting about. But in the meantime, she hasn't, and until the day comes, we'll continue on as normal, or as normal as can be. We are still in personal lockdown. Is this camera focus? I can't really see. My eyes are so tired at the moment. I haven't been sleeping very well. Look how thick that is. Just dip the tips. But we're still in self-isolation took the kids out of school, so they're doing all the schoolwork at home online, and I'm trying to do my best with regards to doing all of that. And actually marking tests and assessments and sorting stuff out for my daughter's school, because she does hers online anyway, but we now have to do all the tests at home. It's a real challenge if you're not, especially if you're a parent that doesn't really know much about online things and how to use things. Even for me, who I'm pretty, I would say I'm reasonably savvy when it comes to using computers and online stuff, but all this online learning, WebEx seminars, and it's a lot for me, and it's really taking its toll on my energy levels and mental strength and everything else, and having to do it with 3 different kids on 3 different platforms, because I've got one that does full online schooling, my daughter. My middle kid does online schooling already at school, so he's just sort of merging over to that. He knows pretty much how to use most of it. And my middle kid, Mitchell, he's at public school, and they haven't even sorted anything out for them yet, because public schools are still going to school. So until it's a full lockdown and shutdown of schools, we won't actually see any difference to his learning. So I'm having to find things myself and actually find exams and assessments and tests and work for his year based on his curriculum. And I can tell you right now, it's not the easiest to find, especially when you're self-isolating and you're not going to go out and go to a shop and start asking questions and trying to get stuff, because we're pretty much in the house all the time. We go out the front, sit at the front door and read books just for a bit of fresh air and a bit of sunshine, and out the back. But we're trying to do it by the book, in the hope that just our small sacrifice, and it is a sacrifice in a sense, but it's not a sacrifice really, is it? Being stuck at home with the internet, watching TV, reading books. It's been difficult for me in terms of my rehab, having to get with my wrist and things, so I'm having to do mainly bodyweight stuff, and that hasn't been the easiest, and trying to figure out gym routines and things to help me strengthen my wrist and try and get rid of this pain and move beyond the pain. I still haven't managed to find out what's going on. Right, let's spray this now. It's certainly not a brush that's got any scritch or anything, it's just got loads of scrub. Now the scent on Devil's on the Field, if this is the first time you've ever seen me use it, the scent on this soap is like sweet grass with a bit of earthiness to it, but it is quite sweet, and it's supposed to invoke the sensation in your nostrils of actually walking into Old Trafford or any stadium and getting that smell of freshly cut grass that's just been watered. Now it's not as complex as Barrister and Man Diamond, which has popcorn and a few other bits in it that are really nice, and that is for me a better, more exciting scent. But this is a beautiful, sweet, grassy, earthy scent. My wife hates it, but it does bring back memories for me, playing football and watching it. It smells like grass. It's amazing how they have these oils and scents. Now, I don't know whether this is a fragrance oil and an aroma oil or a essential oil. I have no idea. I believe there is actually an essential oil that smells like this, but it's very expensive, like oud sort of prices, I think, which per ounce is way more expensive than gold, I believe. Look at this lad. Now this formula for this soap is actually quite old. This is, I think, 2 iterations of soap base prior to what they're using now at Lather Bros, and it's still sensational. Right, just going to sprinkle a bit of water on top of the brush, paint some of that water. Try and get the old Jack from Virtual Groom Room happening here. He normally paints it in now, just paints a bit of water in. Excuse me. Just sprinkle another bit on. Well, I can't argue with that. Stunning. Absolutely stunning. The scent, I love the scent, I think it's brilliant. Right, the razor is going to be the car Christopher Bradley races. Surprise, surprise, it's the only DE I will use in the den now. It's the only one I've really got other than a vintage Gillette, which I don't use at all because it's not a nice shave. I've only got it for sort of sentimental. It was a gift from my in-laws, but it's not great to shave with. I'm going to pop a Derby blade in today. Now this is a blade that, along with sort of Voscods, and there's a couple of others I can't think on the top of my head what they are, where the quality of the blade seems to differ quite drastically, sometimes from the same pack, never mind different packets. Now it is waxed in. It's a single one that's waxed in. You can see there that some of the paper has actually stuck to that blade, but it's not massively bad, and there's no actual wax near the blade edge, so it's not too bad. So I'll pop that onto the top cap like so, pop the base plate on top of that, and then pop the 3.25 inch handle on top of that, and then we've got the B plate. So this is the 0.73 blade gap. Beautiful razor, shaves very, very smoothly, and here we go with Lather Bros. Devils on the field. Now, I've got absolutely no prep to this shave other than the lather, and I'll tell you right now, this Derby blade, this particular one, feels great. It really does. This is just your bog standard Derby Extra, cheapest chips, one of the cheapest blades on the market. Now granted, I've only got like 16 hours growth, something like that, 20 hours growth. What time is it? Yeah, I've got about 20 hours growth. So not a lot to really shave off. I'm just shaving because I can. I've got a little bit of time before the wife comes home from work. Then we can have Maxie's little sort of birthday party with his cake and things without any guests. But he's okay with that. I've ordered from one of our friends' cafes, so I'm actually going to drive down there at 4 o'clock, and then we get basically takeaway into the door of the car and we drop it off. And down there at the moment they're all gloved up. Unfortunately there's no masks available to anyone in Western Australia just now, unless you're very lucky. Even the healthcare workers don't really have enough PPE at the moment to deal with the crisis. I've been saying it since it started that this is way worse than they're making it. I think most of the cases in Western Australia have come from cruise liners and ships, things like that, and then the other people that I've got, I've generally been in contact with them, although we have recently had a bus driver on our network that was tested positive that had been driving a bus for 8 days. Which obviously means there's people that have been in the crib room with them. That feels absolutely fantastic, that blade. Really buttery smooth. The major issue is, well, that's the same pack from the last one. I think the last blade I had wasn't that great. The main issue is the quality control with the blades. Got one little weeper there. I'm expecting a few weepers with this at the moment. My skin just doesn't feel quite right just now. I don't know whether it's the not getting much sunlight, not getting out too much. You know, I'm really isolating myself. I do sit out the front, not so much in the sun because it's still 30, 35 degrees over here every day at the moment, so it's very hot. But I do believe that the Australian Private Reserve serum is helping me a lot at the moment. It seems to be quite a good product. Whether it's better than Codex, I'm not sure. I think they leave my skin feeling very similar in terms of post-shave or just everyday use. I've stopped using the Codex at the moment, and I'm mainly concentrating on using the Australian Private Reserve just to get a good feel for it, so I can give some sort of honest feedback at the end of 30 days. But so far, so good. It's not a bad lather really, is it? From one load. I did load it heavy. I did soak the soap as well, just to give it soften up a little bit. Doesn't really need it because it's quite a soft soap anyway. Someone's had a few comments on the Declaration Grooming Milk Stick base that I've got. Now I know, having spent quite a bit of time speaking with Jack over at the virtual groom room, that it's quite a temperamental soap. You have to sort of get it right. But the general consensus of comments that I'm getting from it are, if you load the brush really heavy and water into it gently, should be good to go. Well, that's a great shave. That's a really good shave. Right, let's just get a bit of soap on my finger there. Just clean that off the handle. Don't want to drop it. I think this soap's about 2 years old now. It's over 2 years old, I believe. And it still smells fantastic. The scent's really strong. Fantastic. Let's rinse off. Just noticed the natural lighting is a little bit dark today. It's pretty cloudy today outside. Right, let's rinse the brush out. Now I'm just going to show you how much soap's left in here and the quality of the lather. So there's the brush squeezed out. And look at the amount of lather that's left in that knot. And this stuff is fantastic. Look at that, it's just brilliant. Look at the gloss on there. It's dense, it's gloss, it's creamy. It shaves brilliantly. And this one for me personally is a great scent. It's not, this wouldn't be for everyone. You've got to really be into outdoorsy, grassy sort of scent. And if you have been to a lot of stadiums or you follow an outdoor playing team that plays on grass, you'll know the scent, it's unmistakable. And this is a very, very good sort of homage to that scent. I mean, it's not the sort of, you don't want to run around smelling like this. It's not really this is an indoor scent. Unless you're going to play football, then by all means, whack it out and away you go. very easy knot to clean out. I can tell already that the silt is out of the knot just by the feel. Now, if you watch my head shaves, you'll know that I'm using different blades in the leaf at the moment. I'm going to continue that. I think I'm moving back to an older set at the moment. But I'm finding blades in the leaf razor are extremely important to your shave. So if you're having terrible shaves with a leaf and you've only got one blade type, you might only use nasets. You might find that nasets are just no good for that razor, which might then turn you off it altogether, because buying a whole bunch of other blades to try can be a bit of a nightmare unless you get like a sample pack. But if you can and you are struggling, I would highly recommend a sample pack for the leaf razor so you can try to find what blade works best, because it is extremely different with different blades. Right, I'm going to pop, I was going to use this. It is a fantastic balm, but do you know what, I'll just pop a very small amount on, just a tiny bit, because I'm going to use the serum. I don't want to double up too greasy, so I'll use a tiny little spot of the balm, just for the scent and the menthol, because there is a beautiful kick of menthol. The scent on the balm is actually more, it's got a little bit of sort of cologniness to it. I think it could be the menthol that's giving it that slight different tinge, but yes, that menthol's really nice just from that small spattering of cream. But yeah, so I am going to be trying different blades in the leaf razor over the coming weeks and months, just to figure out what works best for me and what doesn't. I do find on the whole that the majority of people like the same things in terms of blades. They don't all work brilliant for everyone, but you know, Gillette nasets across the board, most people like them, very few don't. And then you've got Voskhod, most people don't like them, very few do, that sort of thing. So I was a Voskhod lover, by the way, but quality control lets them down big time. Right, the soap was Devils on the Field from Lather Bros, exclusive for the channel. Beautiful artwork, beautiful scent, strong, good lasting scent, great to lather, good fun to use. The brush was my custom Leo Frio Manchester United brush, the 26mm Magard 2-band silver, not silver tip, 2-band. I think this is 2-band best, but it's got very soft tips. It's not the best looking tips, but they feel nice, and as you've seen, it lathers very well. It releases the lather out of the base of the knot extremely well for scooping on my chin. It's just a lovely brush to use. The carved Christopher Bradley razor with the 3.25 inch handle, aluminium, with a first juice Derby blade, which comes single wrapped like that, and a little bit of wax on it, but not too much, not enough to annoy me like feather blades. But it's a cracking blade. If you get a good one, it's brilliant in this razor. If you get a shit one, it's shit in any razor. But every now and then I hit the gold mine with it, and that one's a cracker. I'll probably keep that for 2 or 3 shaves and then move on to the next blade. So what I am going to do now is just wet my hands, flick off the water so they're just sort of got some water droplets on it. Australian Private Reserve Scent Essentials Restoration Peptide Concentrate Serum, 1 squirt, that's it, like that. Rub it in with the water on my hands, and then bosh. Now this can be used around your eyes and everything. It's whether it makes any difference or not, I've got no idea. But after 30 days, hopefully I'll have a good sort of grasp on how my skin is feeling. I may even, if I've got time, which I probably won't, go back and look through all the videos that I've done and maybe grab an end of Photoshop and just see if there's any difference in look from start to finish, which I can probably tell the difference looking in the mirror. And to be honest, I look that fucking haggard at the moment. It's I can't really tell at all. But that day, for me, it's a very close, comfortable shave with 1 weeper, which has closed up now. I'm really happy with that. Really happy with that. And with that, you guys stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys next time. Cheers.